Welcome to ASN Bay Area Live. We're a special guest, Ted Robinson, doing PAC-12 Network Baseball with Scott Erickson, and also the voice of the San Francisco 49ers. So what brings you out here, Ted?
Well, work brings me out here, Ryan. I've done baseball for PAC-12 Network since it started. I've scaled back the number of games. I'm doing fewer games, but obviously any game at Stanford or Cal I grab, I do. So it's nice to come out here and see the Bears. And you know, every time I come here, Brian, I keep thinking how close Cal came to not having baseball.
I know.
And all the people that helped, including a lot of former players like Jeff Kent, that helped keep Cal baseball here, man. Every time I come here, I think about it.
Of course, you did the voice of the Giants from '93 to '01, and the Oakland A's once upon a time back in the '80s, and with the Twins as well. To see two organizations grew their talent together at the same time.
Yeah, it was interesting because, well, with the A's, I was there for the very beginning of the La Russa era.
86, 87.
And when I saw Canseco come up as a rookie and McGuire come up as a rookie. And then with the Twins, I came in after the first World Series. They hit it down stretch, but won a second World Series while I was there, which was awesome. And then with the Giants, you know, things went really crashed in the mid-90s. And to see Brian's...
The 103 win season, I still say still the best Giant team not to win a championship. And,
Amen.
And
it was the best Giant team ever. 103 wins. That was the best San Francisco Giants team ever. Was the 103 win team. It's just look at the record book. But sadly, the way the thing was structured, there was no playoffs that year.
Oh yeah, I mean, put Kane Lincecum and Mad Bum on that team in '83. We're having multiple parades down Market Street.
Well, Mad Bum, you know what he did was the greatest postseason pitching performance ever. But I'll tell you, 1993, San Francisco Giants. The best single year I ever saw a player have in my baseball career was Barry Bonds that year. Yeah. He was the best offensive player in the league and the best defensive player in the league at the same year. That's extraordinary.
Yeah, other than the records he did, that was probably my favorite season though. And then also with the turnaround in '97, now with the brand new ballpark, 3 World Series in this decade, and the rest is history. But what's the state of the 49ers? You know, it's been exciting around here. Jimmy G. The Niners were the hottest team going down the stretch. Only 2 teams, Minnesota and Philadelphia, of course, won their first Super Bowl, had a better overall record in the conference or in the league. And your thoughts on the 49ers and how they starting to progress with Shanahan and Lynch?
So I was running in Los Angeles in January. I was out for a run, and a guy's running past me. I had a little 49er logo shirt on. Guy runs past me, crosses, he points at the shirt, and he goes, "Hey, we have a quarterback." I said, it happens in Los Angeles. So I said, that's the power of Jimmy G, Brian, right there, man. And so look, we have seen nothing but good from him. He captured the team. He made the players believe, which is ultimately the most important. He made the fans believe, which we're all happy about. Now, what we haven't seen yet is Jimmy G have a 3-interception game or have a key fumble. It's going to happen.
Those things happen, yeah.
Exactly, it's going to happen. So we haven't seen that yet. And when that does happen, how he responds is going to be a measure of his progress. But the position with Jimmy G and then C.J. Beathard behind him, it's the best the 49ers have been at quarterback, I think, since the first year Harbaugh came in, and he made Alex Smith, really helped Alex become a very good NFL quarterback, and we had a young drafted Kaepernick behind him. This is the best the 49ers have been at quarterback to me since that first year.
Now, your thoughts about it? There's been a lot of, you know, with Jed York, had took a lot of heat of a lot of the fallout with Jed York, with Trent Baalke and Jim Harbaugh, and all the problems have gone down with the rest and everything, and then some, and then Lynch and Shea have came in and kind of restored the asylum.
Yeah, I would tell you what, you know, rehashing history, that's for another time, and some people will probably write books or make 30 for 30s about that. But I'll tell you this, Brian, Jed got it right. He got it right this time with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. And there's no guarantee. That doesn't mean you're going to win a Super Bowl. There's no promise of that.
The process, man. You got to take it one step at a time.
But what it means is the football part of the 49er organization is the best place it's been in a long time. The decisions are being made based on football. Not everything's going to work, but it's the right place. And I think that's important for fans. And I think 49er fans do realize that right now. I think they saw that even 0-9 last year, how many close games there were and how well the team played and quite frankly suffered at the quarterback spot. And once Garoppolo came in, suddenly those close losses became wins.
Well, you know, like a lot of our fans who does the pregame tailgate down at Empire Row for the 49er faithful, you got to come down one day before a pregame. I usually get there late because I got to commute from the Cal train to the city, and they come in droves, and then on the road they come in thousands though.
I would love that. I would love that. And look, what I'm going to tell you something. Here was one of the great moments to me of last season was the game against Tennessee near the end of the year, and Robbie Gould kicked a field goal at the end of the game to win. Yep. And you saw the TV, of course, the TV angle, the cameras behind Robbie Gould shooting his field goal. And as the ball goes up and it goes through the uprights, what do I see in the background? The stands were full.
Yep.
So this was the end of a game.
Yep.
And the record at the time, what were we, 2-10 or 3-10? But the stands were full. And that to me was the most promising sign of the entire season. The fans had already understood this thing was turning the right way. It has a ways to go, but it was turning the right way. And when I saw the full stands at an end of a game in December, that was a lot.
Yeah, and also, because they want that full investment because, there was not a lot of happy faces before that, but I'm thinking next year it's going to be fun, especially with the Niners and battling with the Rams, who I grew up in the 80s with Eric Dickerson, Jim Everett, Flipper Anderson, and Henry Ellard.
Rams got serious, didn't they?
Yeah.
They've made it serious. They've gone out, and I think what we understand about the Rams, they have to sell a new stadium too. And it's a really expensive stadium, and they don't have a fan base down there. They have to rebuild a fan base.
Well,
so I think
the new millennials, they don't have their parents were Rams
exactly
fans.
right. Exactly right.
I'm 41 years old. I grew up with the Niners and Rams rivalry in the 80s. So
So what the Rams I think are doing is that they're pushing everything in now, and that's not a bad thing. Fans like that, but I think it's also driven by the fact, everyone talks about it's Jared Goff's rookie contract, et cetera, but it's also driven by the fact today they've got to sell all those expensive seats and suites and sponsorship in the new stadium that's for 2020 and 2021. So if they win now, which they're trying their darndest to do, that helps them sell.
And finally, your thoughts of the balance of power, the Richard Sherman signed with the Niners, the balance of power. We know how all that, he was the controversy when he was at Seattle, and he was not recruited by Harbaugh. It was that was an issue, and then he comes to the 49ers, and now the balance of power definitely shifted in the NFC West.
Well, the balance of power has shifted. Yeah, the balance of power has shifted because it was Seattle, and now it's really Rams 49ers. Seattle's still going to be good as long as Russell Wilson can function, and Arizona's the one that's taking a dip, and Arizona has to retool right now. But there's no question that this Rams 49ers thing is going to be where we are the next couple of years, Brian. And Sherman, what I think will also happen with Sherman, we don't know physically how he's going to be. We think he'll be okay, but that's to be determined. But I think Richard Sherman in the locker room is going to be a good fit too. The 49er locker room got a lot better last year. There was a strong presence in there, strong football, and Richard Sherman's the kind of guy that I think will fit very well and mix in. And I believe that's something that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch recognized and was the reason why they went so hard for him.
All right, Ted, we got to get ready for your game.
Yeah.
Pac-12 Network, and hey, come on, I hope to see you down at the draft or down at Santa Clara soon.
Pleasure seeing you, Brian. I'll see you in the tailgate.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Ted Robinson for the Arena Sports Net exclusive.